So, you actually like the idea of online learning, and why wouldn't you? Same degree, same quality, but more flexibility. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? Except you have one tiny problem. You haven't actually taken an online course yet, so you don't exactly know how it works. No worries. I'm going to explain to you the two types of online formats you can choose from. And I'm going to answer the top questions that most students have when starting an online course. So, you want to know what you can expect in your online class. Well, it really depends on whether it is synchronous or asynchronous. Now, I know these words are real tongue twisters, but they are two common terms that you're going to hear all the time. Both terms describe online learning. So before we dive into the format types, let's define these terms, okay? Synchronous learning is the kind of learning that happens in real time. What that means is there's a designated time each week for the professor and students to meet. Sometimes this will be a virtual meeting and sometimes it will be an in-person meeting, depending on the class. Methods of online synchronous learning could be, for example, video conferencing, live chatting, or even live streaming. Now, asynchronous learning happens when students are provided with lesson material in advance. They study that material on their own time. They complete and turn all their assignments in by a certain due date each week. Methods of asynchronous online learning can include, for instance, self-guided lesson modules or pre-recorded video content or virtual libraries and discussion boards. The main thing to remember is that every online classroom will have some type of asynchronous work, but not every online format will have real-time synchronous meetings. This is a really important question to ask your enrollment representative so you know what to expect. That way you don't accidentally miss a session or maybe limit yourself to a study window unnecessarily. Now, there are two types of online formats. And before I dig into those two types, I want to point out one important thing. You might stumble across something called web enhanced while researching online courses. And it's not quite what you think. Those are actually traditional classrooms that have added some online components to them. Now, I'm not going to cover those components here since they aren't actually online classes, but if you're interested in learning the differences between traditional classrooms and online classrooms, well, I've already recorded an entire video on that, and you can check that at the link below. So, the two online formats include hybrid and fully online, otherwise known as distance or remote. So first, what is a hybrid class? Hybrid classes combine asynchronous online learning with ground-based synchronous learning. This is a very important distinction between a fully online class that offers synchronous learning, because in a hybrid class, you'll be expected to go into campus once a week. Then you'll manage the bulk of your homework online for the rest of the week. So what is a fully online class? Fully online classes are delivered 100% online. When you take an online course, you are never expected to travel to campus or meet with your instructor or classmates, even if you have a synchronous requirement. Now, if you have a live lecture in a 100% online course, that just means it will always be done virtually. All the components of the course, including office hours, assignments, discussion boards, and even labs, occur completely online in a distance learning online classroom. Now you've got the language and the format to decode any online course. So let's answer the top 3 questions from students about online courses. Number 1, are online classes harder than traditional courses? Well, the simple answer is no. But are they easier? That answer is also no. You're getting the same course, same curriculum, and same expectations. The only difference is the environment. There's just as much learning and access to help in an online classroom as in the traditional classroom. Now, question number 2, is an online class easy to navigate? Well, I would say yes, but your preference may differ based on the LMS that your university uses. An LMS, or learning management system, is basically the technology or platform that houses your online course. Some of the more common LMSs you may see are Canvas, Blackboard, and D2L, Moodle, but there are so many others. And think of it like a house. An LMS may be designed a little differently, but each LMS basically has the same basic functions. For example, each course will be organized in weekly modules. As a student, you may have access to only 1 week at a time, or maybe you'll be able to access all of the weeks at the beginning of class. Either way, you will have a location where you can contact the instructor, access your assignments, take quizzes, complete discussion boards. It's all housed in the LMS. And when you know how to navigate one LMS, honestly, you can navigate them all. So number 3, will I be able to interact with my instructor online? Well, absolutely. Your instructor is teaching your class specifically to help you. Now, of course, you will have access to them just like you would in a traditional class. However, if you have an online class with a live synchronous component, you can ask questions in real time just like you would if you were in the classroom. Many platforms even have a hand raise feature. If you have an asynchronous class, you can get timely feedback in your discussion board and through email. Many instructors in asynchronous courses, though, even hold office hours. They call them online office hours. Access should never be an issue, but of course, it's up to you to take advantage of it. And that's it. Now you've got the language and the format to decode any online course you may be considering. I hope this was helpful to you. If you heard something you liked, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, like this video, and subscribe to our channel to learn more tips and tricks on how to make online learning feel easy.